Hello there, welcome to Critical Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at Beetlejuice. So, the latest in a string of attempts to reanimate decades-dormant franchises has clawed its way from the sodden earth, and this time it's the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice. And it's not just Keaton. Ryder, O'Hara, Burton, Elfman, nearly everyone is back for this. But can they recreate the magic of the past, or is this another failed cash grab? Let's find out. First, your spoiler-free plot summary. It is modern day. Lydia Deetz is the star of a TV show, Ghost House, using her ability to see the dead in partnership with her simpering manager boyfriend, played by Justin Theroux. When a family tragedy brings her back to the Deetz house and her estranged daughter, she finds herself once again entangled with the demon that terrorised her over 30 years ago. Now, as I've said before, I don't consider anything in the first 5 minutes or so of a movie a spoiler, so I'll start with what actually might be the biggest problem with this film, both from a moral perspective and a structural one. The family tragedy that I mentioned is the death of the Deetz family patriarch, Charles. He dies en route to a bird-watching trip overseas in a claymation recreation. The actor Jeffrey Jones does not appear in this film. The reason for this is both startling and understandable. Jeffrey Jones is pedo scum. I'll not detail his crimes here, there's no need. It's all online if you want to look it up. He's killed off, there's a funeral scene, and that should have been the end of it. Except that it isn't. There is a whole subplot where the character, not the actor, reoccurs throughout the film. It's entirely unnecessary, and I can't think why they've done it, especially when it adds to the biggest problem in this movie, an overabundance of plot points and characters. You have Monica Bellucci playing a vengeful character who's out for Beetlejuice, Willem Dafoe as a moderately funny actor who died playing his main franchise role, a cop, and can't let go of it, a love interest for Jenna Ortega, and then you need to add all the returning characters. It's overstuffed, and with a runtime that comes in at 1 hour 44 minutes, which, let's face it these days, is positively breezy, there is no time to do all these disparate elements justice. It's not helped by the fact that it is late in the film that everything starts to come together, and by then too much damage has been done. The fractured nature of the narrative means the story cannot be cohesive. Much of the late work in the film is great, but all the meandering that precedes it derails the story. There is so much of the first hour that could be excised, and it would improve the film massively. I'm not sure if it's studio interference or just Tim Burton's indecision, but there are essentially two butchered films here, and neither is done properly. Which is a real shame, as elsewhere this is a very entertaining film. Winona Ryder drops back into Lydia perfectly, O'Hara shines, and of course Keaton owns the screen every time he appears. Jenna Ortega could do more, but unfortunately she is lumbered with the very cliche at this point, insolent and bitter child who never believed in her mother's ability, and we all know what her eventual arc is going to be because we've seen it a million times before. That said, there were a couple of clever twists during the film that did catch me out, and it was just a shame that I was uninvested by that stage. The curse of modern writing conceits strikes again, and something we've seen in no shortage of releases this year. That said, however, the other aspect of modern Hollywood that has been so prevalent recently is entirely absent. That is to say, there is none of the message, or what people might consider woke. No modern sensibilities at all. In fact, this film will likely outrage modern day progressives, as it is actually startlingly undiverse, with no representative box ticking. The women are women. Monica Bellucci looks great for the scant time that she appears. The gothic sensibilities that are Burton's hallmark are present and correct, and there is even a naked woman figure in the first 5 minutes of the film. Beetlejuice is still a problematic lech, and though it is fair to say that the front end of the film is female loaded, I wouldn't say that there is a feminist skew to things at all. The film follows the beats of the original without being slavishly reductive, and production values are high and in line with the previous film. This isn't one of those sequels that strays a long way from its source material, and considering the age gap, that is remarkable. Final thoughts. Beetlejuice is an admirable attempt to recreate and recapture the magic of the 1988 original movie, with strong performances from the returning cast and a refreshing lack of modern sensibilities, instead focusing on the story. It is a shame that that story is so compromised. With conflicting narratives and a meandering first half, the film's lack of focus deals a critical wound to the immersion and interest of the audience. By the time the film does kick into full gear, it's too late and the damage has been done. While the film certainly has its entertaining parts and is enjoyable, a tighter script would have paid dividends. Too many characters that are ill-served make for a film that has no chance of maintaining cohesion. Swinging that scythe and removing a few scenes here and there would have allowed for one of the film's narrative threads to be fully explored and given full attention. Despite all of this, when the film works, the magic is undeniable, and you are certainly entertained by what's on screen. It's just a shame that those moments are so infrequent. Thanks for watching. I've been Critic. I'll be back with another movie review soon.